Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Laura with Stitchin with Laura. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's having a great Monday and a great day. Well, today I'm going to be working on this one. I haven't worked on it in a while, and I got it from DiamondArtDecor a long time ago. And we're going to be working on this emblem right here in the center. So, yeah, and I'm not sure what color yellow this is exactly. Hang on, I can tell you. 726 is the color, and I have clips all over this thing to hold it in place. So, did y'all have a good weekend? I had a great weekend. Didn't go anywhere, didn't do anything. Well, I watched Super Bowl last night, but yeah, that was about the extent of it, and spent 95% of my time stitching and just relaxing. So, yeah, it was like a stitching getaway, and I didn't go anywhere. Does that make sense? Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, I did happen to see Ching on again from Stitching Dreamer. So glad she's back. Welcome back, Ching. And yeah, it's good to see you working on that big ginormous project. Yeah, because it's not something I would ever finish. Ever. But yeah, it's beautiful. Way to go. Just kind of watched Netflix and took a little nap and passed the time because I got sick of looking at the football channel. I wanted to leave it on that channel because it was dialed in, you know what I mean? So I just turned off the volume and let it go and took a nap and got up, and it was in the same place, so I didn't have to go looking for the football game. Yeah, it was a great game. It was awesome. So, yay, go Chiefs. Oh my goodness. Yeah. And I used to think that Elway was the king of heart attack last 3 minutes of the game, but evidently Mahomes has picked that up. Yeah. Telling you, I'm getting too old for these kind of games. No. It was fun. Oh goodness. So yeah, y'all had a good time on your weekend and did something at least fun. Come on. I know. And it's supposed to snow this week, of course. It was almost 50 degrees yesterday. Even Molly sat out there 2 or 3 times. And the last time she was out there, she just sat out there. I'm like, okay, we'll just let you do as you wish. Whoops, of course I have to hit the bell. But she just sat out there and smelled the air and didn't bark at anybody just because there was nobody to bark at. Not even the kids were out playing. I think everybody's in shock that the weather's in the almost 50s, you know. You don't think too much about it. Now, a funny thing, I'm sitting here stitching this and seeing what's happening. So, the red is yellow, and the yellow symbol is red. So, either way I go with this, one color is going to be right up next to the other. So, I picked the lesser of two evils and took the yellow, and yeah, bizarre. So, it works out that way sometimes. I haven't seen that in a while, but yeah. Worked a little bit more on the dragon yesterday. It's starting to come along. So, it is what it is. Oh, goodness. But I'm glad I stayed home and watched the game. I really didn't feel like going anywhere, watching the game, and then getting up and having to come home, so my daughter opted for the same thing. She was staying home. And yeah, so fun times. Fun times. But it's so much easier. I had my pizza and I put it on about halftime and ate, and no fuss, no falderall, no people to entertain. It was just nice and relaxing. And every time I cheered, the dog ran and hid under the table because I haven't watched football in a very long time. So, yeah. She didn't know what to do. But she was in and out a little bit here and there, and that was about the extent of it. Pretty low key around here. Not much going on in town or anything, which is okay with me. We don't have too many. Oh, I'm sure there's things, going on with certain clubs, like the Optimus Club or the Elks or what is it, the VFW, that kind of thing, but I don't belong to any of those things. My grandmother was an Eastern Star, but other than that, that's all I know. And my father was a Mason at one point. So, yeah. But we never go to those kind of functions. A long time ago, when I was married the second time, when I was with my kids' dad, and they were little. When we had that festival there in Leadville, we'd go to the Elks Club, and they'd have dinner every once in a while. But my brother-in-law at the time, he was an Elks, and he was also an Eagle. So we did some things there, but nothing too, steady or anything. So we got to go to those functions a couple of times, but other than that, that was about it. So now I have no clue. No. I don't know anybody that's any of those things anymore, so, But sometimes there's things going on at the library, but I kind of read through them, when I read the paper at work, and I'm just not interested. I just don't go to those things. That not that I have a problem with being with people, and crowds and all that. It's just, I don't know, the subject matter just doesn't do it for me. And when my friends here from Arizona, we might go to a little concert or something that they have in the park, but that's usually in the summer, But other than that, no. We're a stay-home girl. We're an indoor girl. So, and I don't know enough people here in town to go to those other kind of things. But like I said, none of it has really, done anything for me one way or another. And they don't have many church things, going on. Like potluck dinners or things like that, so. They do have a Easter egg hunt for the kids. And I think at Halloween they have a thing where kids can come at one of the churches, come and play games, and they win candy and that kind of thing. And then they have that thing called trunk or treat, which, people in pickup trucks or cars and they have their trunks open and they pass out candy to the kids, and it keeps them from going door to door, and especially the little ones, that aren't into all that. They can just go around and collect their candy and they're good. Well, ours are way past all that happy stuff, so yeah. Guess who's dragging them up and down the block now? Not me. That's my daughter's job. I drug them up and down blocks till I couldn't see straight. And we'd go down one block and we'd switch out. The other guy's in the car. So on the next block, they'd pull up. I'd sit and wait and drive up to the next block. And then they'd go with the kids. And yeah, no. I'm glad my tour of duty's over. It's somebody else's thing. And they know a few people in town, they go, that are older people whose kids are, at least as old as them, And they get candy from those guys and stuff, so. But other than that, yeah, no. Not much going on in this small town. And I don't know what they'll do this year they have a thing called Gold Rush Days, but that's not until August. So in between there, I have nothing. They've been having small little, there's a part of town that they just built up. We call it East Buena Vista or whatever, and there's little shops and stuff around there, but they have like a park area, and that's where they have these little concerts if you want to go to them, but it's more geared to the yuppie generation, if you will. So, yeah, fun times. And we don't do rafting, so that's totally out of the question. I'm not taking nobody on a rafting tour. My daughter's back wouldn't hold up anyway. Thank God the kids don't like to go do that. I mean, the ones that are like 7 and 10 or 7 and 12 or whatever, they don't. They're not into that crap yet. They don't even, my grandson goes when they go skiing at school, so I don't know how that all comes out in the wash, but it's not like he's asking to go skiing, because neither one of his parents ski. My daughter doesn't snowboard anymore. So, yeah. Some of them things have just kind of gone by the wayside. But they'll go if it's a class, thing. Every once in a while they take them up to I don't know where they go. I'm assuming Monarch or Breckenridge or someplace to go skiing. Like I said, we don't have any place close. So, fun times. But, yeah. And there's no place for them to go ice skating. It doesn't get that cold here. There used to be a place in Leadville where they could ice skate outside, but nobody's ever mentioned that. That didn't appeal to anybody. I don't know about my son's kids wanting to do that. They'd rather go snowmobiling. They just skip the ice skating thing. Do you remember when we could just go to the skating rink or the roller skating rink or the ice skating rink, and they were perfectly happy. They had no clue, what else there was to offer. So now my son has got snowmobiles, so they all go out snowmobiling. But I haven't been snowmobiling since my son was like 3 or 4. Yeah. But no, I got no desire to be out in the cold and freeze. Does not appeal to me at all. I can stay home. I will cook you dinner, but no, I'm not going snowmobiling, skiing, ice skating, roller skating, none of that crap anymore, because if Grandma falls down, we're done. So, yeah, that's how that works. So I just let him take it, and every once in a while the Boys and Girls Club will do something, Trip the Light Fantastic, or Now, one time they went and they had the ice cream out in the park, you know. They got to go to the, well, there's a place, and it's like a little drive-in. They have hamburgers and hot dogs, of course, and what do you call them? Corn dogs and cheeseburgers and some other thing, you know, maybe chicken strips or something. They have a small menu, but not small, small. And then you can get all kinds of ice cream, like Dairy Queen would be. So they sponsor the Boys and Girls Club to come and have a day, you know, doing ice cream and stuff. And they go out in the park, and that's only for certain age kids, you know. So, I don't know, my grandson since he's 12, going to be 13 this year. He's become one of the, let's call it a group leader. You know, he's no longer playing, he's there to help the little ones, you know. So, that's kind of fun. So, he's kind of evolved. And, you know, getting to go to middle school, it's a whole different ballgame. So, he was a little depressed that they weren't going to pass out Valentine's this year. Yeah, that was a rude awakening. You're in 6th grade, we don't do Valentine's anymore. Okay. Like, okie dokie. But, yeah, everybody's growing up. Sad, but true. My granddaughter blew my daughter away. She had to have bags of, I guess they have little bags of gummies, you know, like, what do you call it? Gummy bears? We'll call them gummy bears. They're probably gummy hearts since it's Valentine's Day. But they were that kind of gummy thing, and they were about the Valentine thing. So you just write to so-and-so on the bag, I guess, and give them the bag of stuff, because that's what everybody was doing this year, right? So my daughter thought, well, I'll just try one of those gummy bears. I used to like gummy bears, right? Yeah, no. Said that was the worst gummy bear she'd ever had. So I said, little kids, they don't know any different, you know? So I eat gummy bears at work every once in a while. But, yeah. It is. Truth fact. Because we can get them by the bag full, so why not, right? And the funny thing is, when my kids were little, I did not like gummy bears. So, but it's some kind of candy that I can put in my mouth and not eat it hand over fist. You kind of have to suck on those for a while. So they last longer than anything else I get at the store when I work. So, pretty stuck on the sea salt and caramel Milky Ways. Oh, yeah. Gotta have those. And the mini eggs from Canberries, since it's, what do you call it? Easter now. Ish. Well, Easter won't be for another 2 months. So, yay. But we were able to get mini eggs. Couldn't find them anyplace else. Of course not. I swear. I was hoping to get them in a big bag. That didn't happen. All right, come on. Get that out of the way. Well, I'm getting there. One little bit at a time. Oh, why do I do that? My goodness. It's what it, whoa. If I can hang on to it. The needle threader is for. Why frustrate myself? Right? Use the tools you were given. I forget about the tools. I've been doing things so old school for so long, you know. I don't know how to do anything else sometimes. This looks like an easy pattern. It's not too confettied at all. It's just a matter of stitching the big areas. But it will be beautiful. And I was moving the boxes around and I saw this pattern and I went, hey, I haven't stitched on that for a while. Why not? I'm easily distracted, right? It doesn't matter. I just like to stitch. I wish I could stitch at work, but I can't stitch and watch the parking lot at the same time. Even if we got cameras doing all that, but yeah. It's kind of my job to watch the parking lot. Make sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing. We usually don't have any problems. Summer gets a little chaotic, but, you know, it happens. So I'm glad it's not summer yet. I'm not ready for that hullabaloo to start, but I don't have it bad. I mean, I work 3 days a week, and none of those days are Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. So it's never on a weekend unless I'm filling in for somebody for some reason. The worst part about this is doing all this yellow and then I gotta go back and put the red in the background, but oh well. Try not to think too far ahead. Just take it moment by moment, stitch by stitch. It'll get done sooner or later, maybe. And maybe it won't, but it's not gonna matter. It's just fine. There's no race. Everything's okay. Whoops. Get ahead of myself and I can't get the stupid needle to go in. This is a very nice thinner canvas. You've heard me talk about thick canvases and thin canvases. Well, this one's very nice and pliable. It doesn't take much except to get to the right hole. Holy cow. Some days. Ah, see, I almost did it again. That's what happens when I make those half stitches. Where are we? Alright. I had to think. Which direction am I supposed to be stitching? So y'all got any plans for this week? Anything exciting? Or is the weather keeping you in? And what is everybody else stitching on? I really like to know. Oh my goodness. This is so odd. Ah, where am I? Because I can barely see what I'm doing. But like I said, it's easier to look past yellow than it is to look past red. To see what we're doing, I guess. I don't know. It is what it is. Just stitch. Solved a lot of the world problems while I'm stitching. Believe me. Half of my problems. After a while, it just all becomes automatic. That's why this would be a good project for being inside, watching TV, you know. Or sitting in a car if you wanted to. I can't. I don't know. I haven't stitched much while in a vehicle. You know, not that I have not been. I wasn't the driver. That wasn't the problem. My daughter always thought I was going to stab myself, so she wouldn't allow me to stitch while driving with her. I don't know what the problem is. Okay, they get funny ideas when they grow up, don't they? It's amazing they got this far. Alright, guys. Well, thank you for joining me today, and appreciate it. Everything's straighter. Am I crooked here? Well, it's like, where did I lay that needle? Let's put it up there. So we got all of that done. There we go. It takes a hot moment, but it's coming along. It's coming along. Alright guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And please hit the bell. That way you'll know when my next video comes out. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you next time. God bless. Bye-bye. Keep stitching.